Recording in progress.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Ryan Lovell. I am a product specialist for Monsma Marketing. Pretty excited about going over this presentation with you. I think Westbury ScreenRail is a amazing product. I don't think it's as known in the industry as it should be. And I think that presents a really unique opportunities for any of you guys doing screen rooms or 3-season rooms and things like that. So goals to shed a little bit of light, help you guys get a better understanding of the system, why it's leading the industry, and why you should heavily consider it for one of your next projects. When I say next project, a lot of people do think the residential home. It's not limited to that. It's approved for commercial applications as well. I love showing these couple pictures because it gets people to understand the simplicity, but also the capabilities of the system and its structural rail product. Jumping to the point on why ScreenRail is the industry leader, excellent value and ease, especially when you're comparing it to like some of the high-end systems on the market and just low, extruded in a backyard, type system that's out there. And we talk about ease, whether that be of installation, whether that be for quoting, ordering, transporting to job sites and things like that. It's a high value product. When we look at it, the lead time, the colors that you can get, the warranty with the AMA 2604, powder coating, best in the industry, lifetime warranty on there. It really has everything that a homeowner wants from a quality and look standpoint, but also everything that a contractor wants from an installation and availability standpoint. I really want you guys to see how easy the system is, which is sort of tough via video. When you install it and see some of these videos, you'll really see how easy the system is. I think that starts with the parts and pieces, right? So the list that at least is on my left is the one that are readily available items, really common. The ones on the short list on the right is the 4 key parts and pieces that really should be considered on every single job. So you got your frame rail, which that's what you're bordering the system with, right? You got your posts, and those are the 2 main products that you're working with, and that's what you're supporting the system with, what you'd support a door with, things like that. After that, it's deciding what are you going to fill your screen system with? Is it just screen? Is it the structural railing? Potentially a mid-rail product, even a kick panel or door. It makes it really easy and simple as everything sort of revolves around the frame rail and the post products. These are the best up close pictures that I could really find to try and show what that frame rail looks like. You can see that it's got like a cap on it that you're able to cut to fit to your existing wall, right? You're able to fasten through the opening. Then you're able to snap that covering on it. So it makes a really, really clean, smooth, desirable finish. And then you have that railing section. Really nice. Those caps just pop on at those mounting brackets, really easy at the end. Top and bottom rail, it all just comes, packaged in a system. That picture in the middle of it is a PVC insert that goes in the top and bottom rail. What that does is it creates a pressure fit on these posts that allow for a very tight fit. So there's not going to be any rattling in the wind or issues when it comes to shaking of the product. It's a very strong, sturdy, durable, clean looking system. When you look at a post standpoint too, 2-inch structural post. It's not meant to be the structure of the roof, but it helps support the structure of the system. Really easy to install. You just have the mounts with it. They have awesome short videos online, but you can see how you're able to install the spline depending on which direction that you're going pretty equally with your frame rail or your railing sections that you're installing connected adjacent to the posts. So I still use this, and if anybody wants it, I'll have my email on the bottom of this video, but I still use this to help with my material list when I'm helping doing takeoffs for different dealers or contractors. And what this does is sort of goes through the parts and pieces and where they'd necessarily be used, right? So you can see, you have in the purple here, you have your 2-inch posts, which are used to support that door, right? That comes with kit and header. You have your infill options all in the red, right? So you have your mid rail here, kick panel option, and then your railing section option, which comes in all the different sizes. And then in the green, again, important standpoint, that frame rail, right? Which you're framing the border of your system with, your opening with. Notice that you don't need a frame rail at the bottom when you're using an infill option, like a kick panel or like a railing section. If you were using this mid rail here, then of course you'd still need to use a frame rail at the bottom to put that railing section. So pretty easy from a few different parts and pieces to make completely different types of systems and openings depending on your look goal. This one here, you can see that they use the rail sections everywhere. Now, what's nice with Westbury too, and I like to show this, is that our powder coating and finishes are going to be the same color match for your railing. So Westbury ScreenRail is really common when you're connecting it to a deck as well, just because that Westbury railing is going to be a really good match with it. So from a frame rail standpoint, I know we talked a little bit about it. Here's a zoom in of what we're looking at. If you want to just screen in a section like this, you're literally using one frame rail piece. Well, not one frame rail, but you're one part, right? Just that frame rail, depending on your sizes, which are stocked and available in the 2 different lengths, 8.5 and 12 feet. All 90-degree cuts, which will show on the install, which makes it easy, but you're just putting your border on, then you're getting spline and you're getting your screen and you're good to go, right? Pretty easy to do something like that. Why a lot of people will stock that frame rail as well. So the structural rail, that's that center section here, right? You see the zoom in on what they're showing on the parts and pieces. So you have your structural posts, right? That is going to help break up your wall depending on what distance that you're working with. You have then your frame rail sections that are going on the outside. Then you have your structural rail in the center that you're able to cut to fit. They're not fabricated to exact length. They're coming in, 4s, 6s, and 8s, and you're cutting to fit depending on the size of your opening, because we know not all openings are the same distance. This is a cool mid rail, just showing how easy the system is. Again, you got frame rails on the outside. You have your structural posts to break up the wall at whatever distance that you necessarily want to. 8 foot's max you can go, because that's what the 8-foot structural rail comes in. With that being said, makes it pretty easy to work with, makes it easier for installing screens sometimes when you're breaking it up with a mid rail. And a nice look, which again, that mid rail you can put at any section, or any height, I guess, between what you're working with. So doors, the 36 I have highlighted inch, that's the most common. That's a standard stock, that 3-foot opening on it. You can see with the door, you need at least one structural screen rail post to install that too. And they have that installed over on that, existing structural post or existing structure that you guys may have on it already. The door kit's super easy. Just got to pick from an opening standpoint, innie or outie, and you're good to go. So here's the hardware. So when I talk about the innie outie, the outswing, in-swing closure kits, depending on which way you're opening on it. Spline, you got the black and the white. Those are going to be the 2 most common. Railing section mounts or kick panel mounts. That's like if you're working with an 8-foot section, you decide you're going to cut one down to a 2-foot, and then you're going to use a 5-foot right somewhere else on it. Then you need to order an extra section of, railing section mounts or mid rail mounts. That makes sense. They do have touch-up paint and spray for any of the colors that you can work with in the ScreenRail system. Another really clean picture here, new construction, really common with it. There's a lot of guys in different areas that, they're the screen company in the area, and they're able to offer this system on new homes that looks really clean and integrates really well with a lot of the new home designs that are coming out, especially when you have a deck associated with it. So quick video. I don't know if the sound will play through. I'll talk over. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna show the whole thing. If it loads.
Your digger specialties.
I don't
and
know
we're now ready to install the frame
we'll find
rails
out when I
this,
rewatch this, but
set.
this is just showing the frame rail.
We have
all
the
these
rails
videos are legit, like under 5 minutes. It's really easy. If you've done a screen rail system before or own a screen type company, then all this stuff will be really intuitive, I promise. But you're able just to cut to fit. That's just a structural column that Westbury makes as well. But if you have your structural post or whatever on the pre-existing home, you can use that as well. Doesn't come with fasteners because we don't know what you're fastening into, so you will need to get those. But you're cut and fit going all the way to the top and the bottom.
So we know that we have it level from
I know they're going to end up passing through on here. And if you guys want to watch the video, I'll try to remember to put the link into some of the Westbury videos that they have on
screw
there.
Every 16 inches. Obviously, the cover.
So support posts.
1,000 pounds, but yet they are never to be the purpose.
So these support posts are super nice. You can get them in 3 different sizes: 8.5, 9.5, and then 11.5, which is the max height that you can go with the screen rail system.
And the mounting screws.
He talks about the mounting brackets and how those work with it, screws it comes with.
You're going to cut them.
They install one of these up, so they take a measurement, cut to fit, so they can cut it down on there.
We're going to
works great.
Are here for the screen fabric.
Put that in beforehand. Just make sure that's on whatever side that you're planning on putting the screen through.
Because of the screen rail component, where you want
the railing installation. So it's special order, but a lot of people ask on it when they show or watch this. But they do make a mid-rail option.
These
Again,
rails
special
have a
order, but a cool feature that you can do with the Westbury system. But they're legitimately cutting this to fit. They're able to install through. That PVC insert is always already pressure or is already inside of there, so that when you're putting in the spindles, it's a pressure fit. That's him showing it right there.
The balusters, because that's how the rest of the project is designed.
Checking the fit,
and
looks
we're going
good.
to slide this
able to fasten through, and then he's able
we're
to
now
put
ready
those
to
caps on
install
the,
the hardware
over the top of it, so it's
the other end,
really a non-exposed fastener system.
Into the bottom rail.
So I like showing this because this shows how that PVC insert works. It's not going to wiggle. He's not fastening anything. You're just pressure. I think it's about 30 pounds of pressure to get that to go through.
Rasping the balusters,
and he's able to
prevent them from
easily put on that top rail and.
You want to make sure the baluster
is going
right? all the way to the bottom of the bottom rail.
I don't think I mentioned this yet, but flat spline is required for the Westbury ScreenRail system. It's never going to be a circular spline. A flat spline is going to give a much better tension and hold on that screen, so you're not going back to job sites, afterwards this thing is going on it. Albeit it can be a little bit harder to get in. It's well worth it, and once you do a job or two, it's really easy if you're not used to working with a flat spline. But my guess is that a lot of you guys who are working with these systems are very familiar with a flat spline. So this is another opening where they're just using frame rail, and then they're screening it. They incorporated a door at that system here. So real quick on a takeoff, I only got 6 slides left, so you guys have almost made it through the quick summary. But determine the framework that you need for each opening. Okay, so the biggest things are going to be: frame rails, where are those going? Do you need a support post? And then how much spline you're ultimately going to need on it as well. You'll see the different sizes on it and how many pounds. It's not meant to be your primary roof structure, but it does have structural support with it and load rating. So 8.5. 9.5 and 11.5 size posts, length posts. So frame rails, we already talked about that, but they create that border. They're fastened to the existing header, footer sides, and those are available in the 8.5 and 12-foot lengths, and probably going on every project that you work with the screen rail system. So if you were just going to close this up, it makes it pretty easy. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, realistically, you could do that with 8.5 foot frame rail sections and spline and screen. Good to go. So let's show it if a frame rail is not needed, if railing and like kick panels are used. So you can see these would be the frame rails here. These would be your posts to break it up. Frame rails here, post to break it up. You can do either a mid rail option like this, or you can use your structural screen rail option with infills of 4, 6, and 8 foot. 36 inch is the standard height that's stock. You can order special order 42 inch in any of the colors. People use that 42 inch often with second level or commercial based projects, things like that. In the mid rail option, you can set that at whatever point that you want with it to help break up that section. Available in 6 foot or a couple other sizes. 6 foot is going to be your most common one you can find. So size and door openings, you have a few different options that are available. Like I said, the 36 is going to be standard and available. Kit is going to include the header, the jam, the push bar, sweep, close, all the hardware that you need. And then you just need to order, whether it's an in swing or an out swing on it. So yeah, can it be installed left or right handed? Notice how they're putting structural post to hold the section up. Oops. That's frame rail down at the bottom because that's what they'd fill it with. Technically, you could, put another section here in that little space if you wanted to, but it makes it pretty easy to put a material list together. Now, I know I did a quick summary, some of the nitty gritty, but not as much as the technical stuff. Go watch the videos that Westbury has available. They have a lot of good install videos. They have great brochures. Hopefully this gives you a little bit better understanding of the system. Want to make sure to reiterate too that there are 12 different colors that you can get with this system. At Monsma, there are 4 different ones that are readily available in the textured black, textured bronze, textured white, and gloss white, and all these different items that we talked about. Again, I'll put my email in there. If you want to comment something, I'd be happy to try and search back to this and support it. I appreciate you guys going through and watching the video, and good luck with your next screen rail project.